Have you seen the latest polling numbers on Biden versus Trump for the 2024 election? I mean polling numbers from like this morning or the last couple of days. Because I gotta tell you, I've taken a look. They don't make much sense. Now, what I'm about to tell you is entirely true, but what I'm about to tell you is also entirely madness. I periodically check the latest polling numbers in the mornings just to get a sense for where things are. And when I checked the reports this morning, this is literally what I was hearing back from a couple of different sources. Now, the first report said that the candidates were tied. That was Forbes. Second report that I looked at said that Biden had a small lead. That was Ipsos. And then the third report that I looked at said that Trump had a small lead, and that was The Economist. Notice a problem here. 3 different sources, 3 different conclusions. They can't all be right. In fact, 2 out of the 3 can't be right. So does anybody else see the problem here? This whole notion that news stations aren't reporting the news anymore. It's all just narratives. Depending upon who you are, you can spin a story about the candidate who you want to say is ahead. Has nothing to do with who might actually be ahead. The only thing that the sources seemed to be able to agree on was that the race was very close. None of those sources had Trump or Biden ahead by a large margin. That part I do agree with, because I do think that this race is going to come down to 6 swing states, none of which are decided and none of which are going to be overwhelming victories one way or the other. Now, sure, there have been developments in the news that can impact polling numbers. Trump's conviction, yeah, that's a story. Biden's mental decay, that's a story. But for the most part, those stories aren't impacting voters. The voters who are voting for Trump are still voting for Trump. The voters who are voting for Biden are still voting for Biden. The media is not going to determine who the president is in 2024. That's going to be decided in election booths. And the guy who does the best job at the debates and does the best job of campaigning in these last few weeks is going to be the guy who's president.